one who is severely handicapped needs to fear that they will get paid any less. In fact, they're going to see an increase. We want them to be able to earn more money before losing their benefits. And we're hearing a lot of support in the disabilities community.
This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports. This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports.
AISH Actions Revolutionary Podcast.
Chantal and Gavin.
You have now entered the no bullshit zone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's been having a good few days. I know I have. If you mean stress is good, then I've been amazing the last few days. And I'm here with my trusty co-host, Chantal.
Yeah, you just have to put my video up.
Well, we'll get that into, we'll rock and roll on that. How you doing, Chantal?
Good.
Fantastic. Hey, Sam, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Very good to see you. So, yeah, anything new on the home front, Chantal, with, with your page, the app, anything like that?
Well, there's been a few things that have gone live. A lot of people reaching out regarding this appeal stuff, so we're going to go through that a little bit later in the episode just to get everybody kind of on the same page. People asking about fixing the CDB deduction amount that's been happening since April when AISH released that mandate that they were going to claw back the $200 from everybody across the board. So there's a form for that, for them to correct your file so that they're not clawing back money that essentially you're not getting. Yeah, just a lot. And then we've had internal files that were leaked to us that are now live on the app.
Okay, and today we're going to discuss that next to a relevant $100 that is coming through everyone's bank account, well, every adult's bank account in Alberta. I will, of course, do you bite the hand that feeds you or not? I'd say if it's feeding you with one hand and slapping you in the face with the other, go ahead and bite it. And we'll get down on a little bit of that today. Let me just check the chat and see what's up. Also fully stressed. Yeah, it's great. Haha, good to see you guys. I got a pen at least this time. Gonna get her done. Right on, Sam. Yeah, so if I pull up my notes for today, so why don't we just jump into this?
Yeah.
We can bounce around and do whatever we want, but so I kind of, carried this 4-layer thing on Monday, calling it basically the architecture of austerity. The harm is real and felt as fear. Agency policies don't write themselves. Someone authorized them. That's a big thing to remember. These things didn't write themselves. They came from people, and probably a small group of people. Administrative power, harm delivered through forms, classifications, reassessments, the managerial class. Okay, yeah. So this is where the managerial class does their work. And I don't think I can remember right now, but there was some allusion to that you and I were talking about or something, or I saw on, one of your pages or something, Chantal. You know, basically, you know, the way in which you know, existentialism comes, like, you know, your existential existence today looks a little different than it did in the past. So, you know, before it was pretty bloody and pretty brutal. Today looks a little different.
Yeah.
And I wish that we would get our head around this, because it might once again add that level of whatever it is, angst, anger, agency, whatever you want to call it, to actually motivate ourselves to get something done. So unlike the you know, the mace of old or the sword, now it comes in the form of forms, classifications, reassessments, and it is the managerial class, basically the foot soldiers of the king. Okay, and if you think about it in those terms, you'll probably get a good understanding of what is happening to you and how you can tie that to antiquity, how you can tie that to history, because it's really no different. It's just a different mechanism. And once you realize that that mechanism is just, in some ways, it's more nefarious, because you don't, you know, it's a frog in that boiling pot of water, right? You don't see it coming, and it just happens. All of a sudden, you have no life yet left, and you can't even figure out how the hell that happened. Well, this is how it happened. All right, so just so you're all aware. And the Nixon-Smith ethos, independence treated as virtue. Okay, now this is the, what would you call it? This is the dogma attached to what they think, right? So they are going to tell people, whether they believe it themselves or not, that independence is a virtue. Okay, now independence is necessary in the human life, but independence is not singular nor of itself for the holistic good of a human being. It's one aspect, right? So if you start to degrade the other aspects that underpin or support the human existence, like money and meaning and things like this, virtue really doesn't fucking matter. And independence is not that important when you are suffering existentially every other part of your being, like money and meaning. Dependency treated as a problem. So dependency somehow is a problem when, at least historically, and no philosopher would ever argue this, no smart person would ever argue this, but dependency is part of the human experience, and it is a necessity. It is a necessity to belong. We need to feel like we belong to something, and we need to be dependent on other people because we need to get something done. If the tribe wasn't dependent on each other, right, to procreate and to figure out a way of living, they would not have succeeded. They would have fallen to their own ignorance. And that's what we're seeing today. We're seeing a society falling to its own ignorance because it believes it can be sustainable in and of itself, each individual as an island. And you can't do it. It is not within the human species to actually partake in that exercise forever, right? And it's only part of the grand makeup that constitutes the human life. And the Lynn Fisher information takedown and the July 1st teach-in call. What does that mean, Chantal? What does that mean?
Well, when we do the live podcast, that's basically the call that we're going to be doing.
Okay. The call to.
Mhm.
The call to action?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, get your boots on. Canada Day this year is going to look a little different. And it's going to be about engaging the government for the kind of Canada you want, not the government they have told you want, right?
Yeah.
This is a new day, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming, and I couldn't be more excited. It's going to take a little bit of work, but there is an event horizon looming somewhere in the distance that is begging us to make better decisions. Not politicians, us. Us first, them second. So, so basically, I'm just sorry. Give me a second. So Monday was the philosophy. All right, how power gets exercised at a distance, and philosophy is absolutely necessary. Unless you know philosophy, then you already know how necessary it is. But if somebody tells you that, oh, you're too philosophical, tell them to shut the fuck up. And they probably don't even have an idea of what they're going to tell you or what they're talking about. You have to understand philosophically what things mean and how to put those, how to take from history in application of your life today. That's philosophy. Thursday is the receipts. So today we bring the pragmatism, the real goods about how to do what otherwise is just the philosophical. So here's the exact machine running this week. The $100 rebate is the perfect proof of the thesis. It shows the money exists. All right? Even that paltry little $100, the money exists. They're basically showing you the bank account. Now, only a portion of the bank account, because the vault where the real money is still behind the firewall.
Yeah.
But it's there. All right. The choice is where to point it. And the same administrative machine that can find every adult to send a check is the one that says it cannot individually assess 80,000 disabled people. So they can do the bureaucratic work of looking good for the next election, and they don't have the bureaucracy to deal with 80,000 people. Right now, ostensibly, they're dealing with 4.6 million people sending out a check. So why wouldn't they have the infrastructure for 80,000 people? Doesn't kind of make sense to me unless they just don't give a shit, unless one thing is more important than another. And their next election is more important to them than people dying. Quite astounding, isn't it? Okay, so I would love to know if the chat thinks anything about that. Hey, Nicole, how the heck are you? It's good to see you. Very good to see you. Well, in, colloquial terms. In a chat on YouTube. That's what I mean. So, Chantal, if you want to go ahead and go nuts on the first segment, yeah.
Okay. So regarding the $100 rebate, okay, so I had to do a little bit of digging last night, so I didn't have all of the answers then, but I have them now. So I'm going to confirm the facts that are sourced, okay? So the province announced a one-time $100 payment for June 17th. The Alberta Energy Rebate is what they're dubbing it, and it's funded by oil revenue. So the same stuff that should be going back into our Heritage Fund. So people on AISH, ADAP, income support, and the seniors benefit are automatically enrolled. Okay, so you are automatically enrolled. You do not need to apply. So the portal opens for everyone else July 1st and closes September 30th. This is for everyone else. So still being, yeah, it's all good. So it's all good. No, it's because you fixed it on Tuesday when I wasn't here. It's all good. It's like, oh, he's got the spotlight. Woohoo! I can party in my chair. It's all good.
And I don't even have my mic on. Hey, there's Chantal. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was not my narcissism, I can assure you. What that was was my ignorance. I didn't even notice that the only face on the thing was mine, because on Tuesday I did the podcast myself. So my deepest and sincerest apologies, and I hope you can handle that. So Chantal, you're there.
No worries. I was enjoying being in incognito mode, so it's all good.
Yeah, no, man. Ugh, okay. Too many things to do, ladies and gentlemen. Take it, Chantal.
It's all good.
All right.
So what I'm still confirming is whether the $100 is counted as income or clawed back for AISH recipients. So the 2023 Precedent Inflation Relief Act payment went to AISH recipients tax-free, which is the likely outcome of this one, but it's not yet confirmed in writing. So we are confirming, so do not count on keeping it until we do. Right? With them clawing back $200 from us already from a federal benefit, I can't guarantee that that $100 is going to be free and clear.
And we can't even guess at it, can we?
No.
No.
Not safely anyways, because I
Right.
don't want people to rely on what we're giving them information on. I can only go on what is actually documented on the government side.
Right. So maybe don't take the money and run. I don't know. I would say this. I would say that, you know, with it coming up to election and all I see is, you know, PSA, public service announcement bullshit, you know, articles by Smith and everything else. And now this $100 pathetic attempt to gain more votes. I would want to assume, and you know, this is not gospel, but I would want to assume that she wouldn't fuck us over again, because if she does, you know, we can add that to the list of things to the political, or to the middle class and to her supporters and to the conservative, you know, conservative people out there that might just give a little bit of a shit that she's actually, you know, now she's going to take another $100 back. So I don't know if that's a good political strategy, and I don't know if her base would support her through it. Those are my thoughts. Come on, Kitty, get down, Kitty.
Right. He's a pain in the butt.
Oh, he's
Aren't
cute.
you? So the contrast in this, right, is $100 one time out the door to nearly every adult. Right? So in the same window, the CDB is being clawed back dollar for dollar, $200 a month, every month right now. So Alberta is the only province that does this. And the base rate cut from AISH to ADAP, the 1940 to 1740, is still scheduled. Now, I don't like how the government calls it a top-up, because it's not a fucking top-up. Our amounts are being frozen until the end of 2027. They're not giving us any extra money. It's just what we received last month is sensibly what we're going to be getting until the floor falls out from under us.
Well, they're using the word top up, because what they're not telling anybody is that we actually should be at 1540.
Yeah.
But they're going to be so nice to us that they're going to top us up. But they just cut us to 1740. And so, you know, once again, this is the bullshit speak. This is the double speak of the politician. And I'm writing an episode right now on how you can avoid being bullshitted for the rest of your life, and how to create a better society. But yeah, you know, the top up is meaningless, because, you know, what they would have to admit to is they should actually be at 1540. And so we're going to top them up to 1740 after just taking $200 for them, because we're so fucking nice. Of course, you can't equate nice to that metric. So they just say that they're topping you up, leaving out the actual detail of why that's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So when our amount changes with the switch from AISH to ADAP, that doesn't happen until January 2028. So, and then with the clawback, the base amount for ADAP will still be 1740, but with the CDB clawback, we're looking at 1540. Right? Because they're not calculating the CDB clawback into any of the base amounts for either of the programs. which is fucking wrong because they're doing it to everybody.
Well, and once again, we're living in the eternal moment, the eternal present, where we think that today is all there is and tomorrow's going to be the same and yesterday was the same as today. And this is something that we have to cleanse our mind of. We don't, you know what I mean? Like the effect that today is all that matters, that my generation is all that matters, that, you know what I mean? Rock and roll has lasted forever. We miss the fact that in 2028, our country could look completely differently. And that $200 could not even be there depending on the government that's there.
Yeah.
So then your hard, fast, reality will be 1540, and who fucking knows from there? They could say, well, we're going to take an extra $200 off. Now you're down to 1340. Nobody knows what the future looks like. That's why we're fighting the present.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get gaslit by fancy words. Everybody right now, every party in Alberta is just looking to cement your vote. So they're going to throw funny, fancy, shiny words at you that are going to make you feel good and warm and fuzzy inside. It's all bullshit. No party that's ever gotten in by making promises has actually stuck to their promises. So
None.
If they wanted to fight, right? If they wanted to fight what was happening to the disability community right now, they'd be a hell of a lot more forceful and vocal about it.
Oh yeah.
Their hands are not tied.
Right. And
by any means.
Well, they're not. And to not see what the hell, Nenshi out doing everything he can is a very telling story, ladies and gentlemen. The fact of his lack of presence. And that when he does, like Groundhog Day, the fucking gopher just pokes his head out of the ground. He looks around a little bit, says a word or two, and then boom, gone. Right? And then he gets Marie Renault to carry the water for him. And I'm sorry, you could be doing a lot more, man. You could be doing a lot more. I mean, the town hall is next week, good for them. But once again, they're going to construct a new NGO type of thing that, it's going to be a few people leading it, like Zachary Weeks. And God bless them for whatever Zachary Weeks does. But this is insufficient to the cause, wholly insufficient. It is not going to solve the problem. It is going to keep people making a check, cutting a check, saying they're doing good work, and nothing changes. That is the absolute reality, and that has never changed, ladies and gentlemen. So how do we change? Stay tuned. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. So take the $100. It's yours, but remember the arithmetic. There was enough money this year to send a check to every adult in the province. The money existed, and the choice was where to point it. So when they tell you the disability cut was necessary, that the money wasn't there, it was there. They just pointed it somewhere else. And that falls into your set side there of the Heritage Fund too. The money is there for all of our social programs.
There, I don't want to sound like I'm blowing this out of proportion, but there is literally enough money there for the disabled class to be eating steak, shrimp, lobster, and caviar every fucking night. That's how much money there is. Every person in Alberta could be living a completely different reality. But because your government is such a piece of shit and really is not that into you and doesn't care if you die, there is none of that for you. No soup for you. You see what I mean? And this is a really, once again, we got to get our heads around this. If we're gonna step up and do something about it, and not leave it to a 20-year-old to fix this, we're gonna have to do something. And that's what, again, I'll say it, July 1st is all about, ladies and gentlemen. The legislature, Edmonton legislature, right in front of it, the people's house, our house, the one that our taxes built and that we have all right to. This is a moment to step up and do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna move on here to the don't do anything is the tell. Okay, so the letter or the email that was received by one of the members of the group on Monday from Lynn Fisher, okay, that I responded to, and we went over on the Monday podcast because I was riled up. So this week it confirms a pattern. Okay, not a one-off. So the letters and the frontline staff keep telling people there's nothing for you to do right now. Right? So Monday's email proved that's wrong. And that was my rebuttal and response to said email. So the existing AISH appeal process is open until June 30th. The last working day before the July 2nd transition takes legal effect. Now, I had somebody reach out on their own to the lawyer that is supporting and behind Zachary Weeks and Mary Renault, the one that's on their podcast.
Okay.
Now, he said that there's nothing that they can do legal standing wise for taking this before, what the hell was it, a judicial review, because there isn't enough time to put 80,000 people before this review board. That's the only thing tying their hands.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
We had a legal standing to fight AISH regarding the transition to ADAP in that month window. That's all that we had. So because of how they dated all of our letters, May 12th, right? All of our letters are dated the same date. Because of the lack of amount of time given to this transition, lawyers don't have enough time to put together a meaningful case for every individual that wants to fight.
Bullshit.
So lawyers are pushing people away and telling them there's nothing that we can do regarding this transition because there's not enough time.
Okay, wait. Yeah, let me see if I got this straight. So number one, fuck the lawyer. I don't really care about the lawyer. You're saying this is coming from the NDP.
Well, he's a lawyer that is on the same, what is it? They have a podcast about advocating for yourself. And they're, I think it's the second or third episode that they're doing on the 23rd of June that we both signed up for, because I want to hear what's going on, like what kind of misinformation's happening on that front.
Oh, yeah.
So according to that lawyer that is within the NDP group that's happening right now, they're saying that there's nothing anybody can do because there isn't enough time.
Well, then why the fuck are we not preparing, number one, and why didn't they think of this 6 months ago?
Because the government that's in right now made sure that they didn't have the time to act on behalf of the disabled community.
Say that again.
The government that's in right now, the UCP, when they did all of the legislation, the ministerial orders, and they created ADAP, they made sure that we had a limited window to be able to legally contest the ADAP transition.
Meaning that we wouldn't have been able to contest it until we got the letter.
Exactly.
So we couldn't have contested it.
No.
Okay, but...
And because of how it's all worded, right, they know that it takes forever for us to actually, you know, commune and get together and figure this shit out, right? It usually takes forever and a day. Because the letters were sat on for about a week because nobody was receiving them until the end of May. That's when that 30-day window started, was when we received our letters. So that's why we only have until the end of June, because as for the ministerial orders, everything for ADAP and the loss of appeal rights and everything else come into effect July 2nd, because the 1st is a holiday.
Okay, but once again, you know, like, we don't pay these fucking people for nothing, right? We don't, you know what I mean? Like they are public servants that are paid by your taxes. That's how they get paid. No other way. Unless they do an endorsement for fucking Nike. Okay? Other than that, the only way they get money is because you gave it to them. Now they cut a check, and in return for the check, they're supposed to do a job. Right? That job, let's take what's happening right now, ADAP, as a perfect example. Their job is to figure out and to find out every way in which they, if they're against it, which they say they are, is to take every measure and to think of every way that they can fight this thing on behalf of the people they say they're fighting for.
Yeah.
Now, It is immaterial, I think, to the case that they couldn't move until May 12th, because if I was a lawyer worth anything, right, or a group of them getting paid by a political party, if that such is the case, right? I can't make that assumption, but if that is the case, I would have started months ago going, look, I don't know when that letter's coming in, but we know they're going to be sending letters. So what we need to do is be prepared on that very fucking day that those letters drop to immediately take it to the court. That's doing your job.
Yeah, but the whole thing is all of these lawyers and stuff. What is the number one reason why people get into law, Gavin?
Well, to make money, I would think. Yeah.
Lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
So if people are coming to them with a hypothetical, right? Like this ADAP program is going to be this, that, and the other, right? There was nothing established months ago regarding ADAP and what that program looked like. Like you have to like visualize the timeline, right? They didn't tell us about Bill 12 on the engagement page. They didn't let us know what kind of changes were happening to AISH as they were happening. They didn't tell us any of what the exemption categories were going to be. All of our letters are dated for the same day that the information regarding ADAP was dropped. So that whole discussion booklet that came out was the same date as our letters. So how is a legal, from a legal standpoint, they had no time. We don't have enough lawyers to pick up all of our cases, and we don't have the financial backing or the means to hire them. So, rock meet hard place, and where are you going to get it from?
Okay, well, I love you, right? I think the world of you. You know that. I'm going to push back a little bit, though, all right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Okay, because here's the thing. I don't expect me to be that smart. I don't expect, me to be that intuitive or, to see what's coming. But a lawyer does. A lawyer can.
Well, you would think.
Right. Now, the question is, and I don't know the answer to this, but does the NDP not retain lawyers? I would say they probably do. They would have to. So it is immaterial when a thing happens. It is more material that it will happen. So we don't know when it's going to happen, right? Chantal, it's like anything else in life, like saving for a rainy day, right? You don't know when that thing's going to happen, but you plan for it. It's the same thing that I would hold a government liable for. Not only that, but they're telling you it's coming. Whereas whatever that crisis is, saving for a rainy day, you don't know when that bus is going to hit you.
Exactly.
You have no clue. In this case, the government knows 100% that something is coming. A bus is coming, and it's about to hit 80,000 people. That's a pretty big bus, by the way. So we want to be on this now, so that when it drops, we know that we can take it to court. They didn't prepare, Chantal. That's my point. They didn't prepare.
Well, no, but that just circles right back to your government's not that into you.
Oh, no, I get it. I'm taking, your argument about, well, what did they know and what didn't they know? To me, that's immaterial. They knew enough to prepare. They didn't prepare. And I would hold my government accountable for that. I mean, Chantal, my God, if I was, if I fucked up like that and, you and I are friends, we're good, we're close, you would say, Gavin, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you need to prepare, my friend. You've even helped me prepare. You know that. We sat and you helped me last night, right? Because, Chantal, I'm not stupid. And I have a need and I have a necessity. And you met the need. You said, let's prepare, Gavin. That's why people are not that different. They know they should have prepared. And they didn't prepare. Because come May 12th or whatever it was, they could have immediately said, we're in court on the 13th. Or very shortly after. There is no.
We've prepared. We have everything in writing. Now we have the final piece that we need to make a move, and now we're going to move. Absolutely.
Right.
If I had a lawyer degree or whatever, I would have been on this already. I would have been ready for the rollout. Now, these are people that have this as their, you know, background, as their careers and whatnot, and they don't care about the people. They really don't, because if they did, they'd be doing a hell of a lot more than they are. And that's why I keep on telling people, don't believe the fancy words, the shiny words, the gaslighting. If they were going to do something, it would have already been in the works. You know, and NDP is in there. They're across the hall, or across the room from the UCP for 53 days this year. And they have basically done nothing. You talk a good game. I'll give you that. You talk a good game. You get all the fucking cameras on you, and you say the stupidest shit. What are you actually doing for the people? Nothing.
Right. Where's the
absolutely zip?
Right. Where's the material gain? We can talk. This is where philosophy and pragmatism separate. Now, you can't have one without the other. Agreed. But at some point, you philosophize long enough only for the purpose of doing an action. Right? For instituting something. And so, I'm sorry, but my ire is fully in the arena of the fact that no other party seems to give a shit. Where are the liberals? Where is the liberal fucking party? I don't think any liberal has talked about this, at least not to any extent that I can ascertain.
Yeah.
I haven't heard.
The Tories are crawling out of the woodwork. Right, and they're posting this and that about the ADAP, and they're getting on the same fucking thing. If they were against the transition, they would have been speaking out a fuck of a lot earlier than now.
Right, they would have been putting their jobs on the line because their jobs are being paid for by the taxpayer. Exactly. But it's just a political, circle jerk, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a political, what would you call it? Like rotating. Well, it's like wiping your ass with a hoop. There's no end to it. And it's the same with government. They just continue to go around in circles and do nothing. And they perfected that. If there's one thing they're good at, it's that. And that's all they're good at. And I've fucking had enough. I mean, I've really just had enough. I'm not going to give gifts.
They could have said something when Bill 12 was being introduced last year. That, no, this is going to really hurt a lot of people. We can't get rid of Bill 12. We can't get rid of the appeal rights. Nobody said anything. Nobody fought it hard enough to stop it. They let it go through and they let it happen. I don't care how many fucking seats you have asses in. I don't care. If it's something that you are passionate about and you want to fight against, then you fucking fight against it. It shouldn't matter what colors are behind you or what banner goes over your head. I don't give a fuck. If you don't agree with it, then you should be fighting it. Because our blood and the blood of the people that are dying because these governments or these parties can't fucking figure this out, right, is on everyone's hands collectively. The NDP have blood on their hands. The UCP has blood on their hands. The fucking Tory government has blood on their hands. Anybody that gets paid with taxpayer dollars to run a government, our provincial government, has blood on their hands for sitting idle and doing nothing. And it is exactly where it belongs.
Well, don't get mad at me. It's not my fault.
It pisses me off.
No.
It really fucking does.
Let me say a few things to what you just said, because they're very powerful and meaningful. Number one, this is not a coulda, shoulda, woulda, ladies and gentlemen. This is analysis. That's what this is. It's going back to take a look. All right. And time and place have every reason and purpose in doing analysis. So that's what we're doing. We're going back to look at time and place so that we can move forward. It's sort of like, if you want to make yourself a healthier individual, go back to your childhood and figure it out. That's all we're doing. We're doing analysis on the life of political fuckery. Okay. So this isn't coulda, shoulda, woulda. This is what do we do now? Ultimately, this is where it lands. So I hope everybody's aware of that, number two. And number one, or whatever I said. Number 1, 2, or 3, A, B, or C. Chantal, this is where I think both of our passions lie. In being so fed up with the ignorance of the demos, the people, and the arrogance of government, that we simply cannot contain ourselves anymore. We have to get angry, and the anger is legitimate, and it's anger because of what's happening to us personally, what's happening to you. We can't
Well, to
help
everybody.
what's happening to 80,000 people, and then the middle class, and care or care not about the middle class. Everyone is suffering. And if everyone get together, our government could never do this. So, what we're proposing, and once again, just as a teaser, without burying the lead, Chantal and I have been talking about what it means to be in the political sphere, and to run 100% antithetical to everything that is happening, to call out everything, and to call everyone by the name that they deserve, which is, either, I don't know, well, to get them back to being a servant and not an asshole. How's that? To not destroying your life, but to making your life better. And lo and behold, all of the money is there to do it. All of the resources are there to do it. Everyone in Alberta right now, right this very second, could be enjoying a life in which it has purpose, meaning, monetary subsistence, community, full-blown community, and it's not happening. And this is our frustration. Can I go to the chat just for a sec, Chantal?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a smoke.
Oh, you go, girl. So what does the chat have to say? I'm really interested. Sam, and why do all adults get $100? I assumed I'd be getting 88. Why assume that, Sam? I'm curious. And if I wasn't literally starving, I'd refuse the token BS payment. Sure. I mean, as would we all. It's what the Roman called bread and circuses, right? But really, there's no bread left. It's all just a fucking circus. It's the literal money they stole from me. How can I argue with that? Fucking gross. Disgusting. I make $15.90 on CPD. So when it's down to $15.40, will I get the opportunity to pay AISH $50 a month? Minus 12%. That's ridiculous. Of course it is. I don't know if. Do you have the answer for that, Chantal?
The minus 12%.
Yeah.
I think she's talking about the cohabitation.
Well, she's saying when it's down to $15.40, will I get the opportunity to pay AISH $50 a month?
Oh, from the CDB clawback? Probably not. They're going to take that at the end of the month like they have been.
Minus 12%. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yes, Sam, it is. And I get the 88 now. I get what you're saying. Cool. Thank you. My NDP MLA, Amanda Chapman, Sam says, hasn't responded to me in weeks. Well, that's because they really care. I mean, that's.
Oh, don't get me started again. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious.
Put my name on the ballot.
Yeah.
Put it on the fucking ballot. I'll show you how a government's run. God damn it.
Yeah, it's obvious they care, isn't it? Judicial review can't come at a later date, ? Well, yeah, and that's what they're saying. But the judicial review can come anytime it wants to. There is a thing in politics, and you saw this in the States during the Biden election. They promised everyone a living wage. They promised $2,000 during COVID. They promised, oh God, what was the other? Healthcare. Okay? These were the promises in which the liberals in America hung their campaign on. They didn't do one of them. But then they used what they didn't do to try and get elected again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they said is, oh my God, these things are terrible, in which they could have solved the problem of. And then they said, well, let's wait for the election and we can run on that again. Something they had completely failed on. it is the
These people
same.
need time management courses, seriously, and they need to start actually doing the work that they're being paid to do.
Well, no, but they know it, Chantal. They know that they need something to run on. And that's what the NDP knows, I believe, about ADAP, about the transition. They know that they can run on this and they can bullshit people enough to win. Now, what's going to happen when they get in? I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you what history tells me, and that is that they don't do a fucking thing. And why? Because they will say, oh, it's hung up in court. We're doing everything we can. Okay, we hate the UCP, we hate what they did, but it's just such a process. And they're lying their fucking ass off. They have no desire to change it. You saw that in the Liberals in the U.S., and you've seen it practically every election, right? George Bush Sr., no new taxes. What happened? As soon as he got elected, brand new taxes. Donald Trump, no new wars. What's happened? How many fucking wars have we had in a year and a half with this clown? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there are no good options except what Sam just said. Chantal for premier. Absolutely. Brava.
That's because I'd put my money where my mouth is.
Right.
And I'd spend I'd burn that midnight oil like I have been for the community that I'm supporting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't just extend to the disability community. This is everybody.
Everybody.
The working class, the seniors, the people on pensions, everybody. It's not a consolidated issue.
Yeah. It's everyone.
And that's where the transparency needs to come from.
Well, it's the species. And if we don't start taking a look at ourselves as a species and stop trying to define ourselves by our gender, by our political party, by being a cat, by whatever it is, we have to stop that shit. Why? Because it's immaterial to who you are as a human being. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care what party you belong to. I only know that you are a human being. And that, for me, is enough. That takes care of racism. It takes care of identity, because you are not your identity. At the end of the day, I'm not a drummer. I'm a human fucking being, full stop. And we have to start looking at the foundation of us as a species. Otherwise, we're going to continue to fight each other indefinitely into antiquity. So we got to stop that shit. So yeah, Nicole, I hope that's not too harsh, but that's really the reality. I mean, they could do this, and once again, they're going to fight this to no good end, but just enough for the NDP to say, look, we're the only people out there doing something, and we did this, and that.
That's because they were the runners-up. That's the only reason why they're in legislature right now. They were the runners-up. They were the last people in.
Right.
Before the UCP took control. That is the only reason the NDP are where they're at right now.
Right. And if you want to debate that, take a look at a few years ago when the NDP actually was in power, and they cut the medication allowance for a ton of different drugs for people on AISH. Mm-hmm. It's a slow road to hell. Okay.
Well, we've done that. We've done that. We've already done the last since Lockheed was in up to present, what every government took from the community and what we gained with them in power. And it's not a nice show. It's not a good report for anybody.
No. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's bread and circuses, but there's no more bread for you. The whole fucking thing is now a circus. That's it. And that didn't come from me yesterday. That came from Rome 2,500 years ago. Okay? So we've always experienced this. We'll continue to experience this until we, the people, do the work. And we are at that moment, I think, in history where we could affect the correct change, but only if the people give a fuck about themselves and love themselves enough to really want to change the way their lives work day to day.
I've had some messages come in about, well, why are you shitting on the NDP all of a sudden? Like, you keep on sending people to Mary Renaud, right? The only reason why I send people to her route, like into her inbox, is because she is the shadow minister of assisted living and social services. We don't have a personal relationship. She's never reached out to me personally. We don't have any kind of preconception of one another, right?
Yeah.
That is the only reason I send people to her inbox, is because she is the person that's supposed to be holding the other side accountable when it comes to this community.
You know, if you're asking the question, why are you shitting on the NDP, you're missing the point. You're really missing the point. The point is about your government. It is about the structure of government. Okay? What we're doing is we're giving you analysis that is historical up until today. All right? It could be, you could call it whatever you want. I already said about the liberals. Where the fuck are the liberals? And if you're honest with yourself, you'll say, right, they're nowhere. We're not shitting on the NDP. What we're giving you is the analysis of structured government and the fact that they do not solve the problem, because solving the problem is not the point, right? Keeping people like a credit card company, if everybody could pay their credit cards, right, the credit card company would never make any money. It is putting you into austerity that makes them continue. And that is the analysis that we're bringing. We're not, it is not about shitting on something. It is about analyzing something. And once again, if you know, I mean, I've been in the artistic realm, in the entertainment industry my whole life. Okay. And the people that we think are that important, the people that, I don't know, somebody saying you're shitting on the NDP wants to raise them up to some fucking plateau, or, you know, put them on some kind of pedestal. They are no better than you are. As a matter of fact, a lot of them have already fallen to the worst part of their nature, and that's why they can screw you on a daily basis, because they simply have given up. And the what would you call it? The economy in which they live in and are structured in is nothing compared to your everyday life. It is night and day. So it's analysis we're doing. That's it. And if that comes with shitting on a thing, I'm okay with shitting on things. And if people get in the way while I'm shitting on them, then get out of the fucking way. We need to be honest with one another again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what more to tell you. Sam says, I door knock for you all day long, for real. Yeah, Sam, believe it. Believe it. Hey, Pam, I'm glad you're here. Pam says, I hate government. Well, I think...
Join the club.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get in line, take a number. My eye exam tomorrow will be social worker cups today, called doctor, and the exam not covered. Chantal has some potentially good news for you, Pam, and a lot of other people. Maybe we'll talk about that as soon as I'm done here. Chantal. So in August, cups are starting eye tests. They got rid of the housing thing, but getting eye exams at cups. Well, you know, I would say, yeah, you have to ask yourself which one's more important, right? Good eyes or death. Oh my God, seriously, they can't cover the eyebrows in hopes you won't be able to see what's really up. Yeah, it's pull the wool over your eyes, right? Eye drops. They can't cover the eye drops. It doesn't cover the okay. They can't cover the eye drops in hopes you won't be able to see what's really. Yeah. Funny. I like that. Can you get the Fed dental though? I got free dentures last year before I was approved for AISH. Yeah, you might. Why don't I go back to you, Chantal? And
Yep.
Can you kind of describe what it was that I actually never mentioned it to Pam, but now that we're here, why don't we say it to everybody about what might be, well, you know, go ahead.
Just in regards to that dental benefit, yes, anybody with a mouth essentially can apply for that dental benefit, because even if you don't have any teeth, a dentist would still be the one that would do gum health checks and make sure that you are cancer free. So it's still important if you don't have the federal benefit, because it will go hand in hand with our provincial benefit. So whatever our provincial benefit won't cover under AISH and ADAP, the federal one should. Essentially, because I already looked into that. Of course I did. I'm just trying to see here. So was it regarding the CDB that Pam wanted clarity on?
Sorry, it was that, what it was that thing that we were talking about meds and that one paper that they're hiding.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
you
one.
know-
I
you
was
know
so
what I-
excited when I got a hold of that.
I know, I was excited when I heard it, and I thought of you, Pam, immediately. So Chantal, please.
Yep. So I'm gonna just find my post here on the Facebook group, because I know that I have it on there. All right. So there are two forms. Okay, so one is a client form, and these are all already live on the Facebook group, and they are live on the app, or the companion website. Okay, because people keep on getting hung up on app. The only reason why I call it an app is because it's netlify.app. That's the only reason why I call it an app. And the only reason why I use that is because it works on mobile and on the computer. So accessibility, right? And that was the entire reason why I looked for a platform that was accessible. So the client form is the one that you would fill out to ask for coverage for a medication, dental, or optical item. So let's say you break your glasses, right? And you can't wait the 3 years to buy a new pair. This is the form that you would fill out saying why you need a new pair, even though I don't understand why you would have to explain why glasses are important. But anyways, that's what this form would cover. So for a medication, it goes in together with your doctor's form. So if you have an optometrist that you get glasses or a prescription from or whatever, you take the form to them and say, hey, I need this as a health benefits exemption, because otherwise I have to pay out of pocket. We don't have that kind of money. None of us do. So you would fill out that form and you would submit it, and it would go to the Health Benefits Exemption Committee, and they would review the request. This is not a form that is widely available, ladies and gentlemen. This is one that they keep behind the scenes, and I has it.
Right. So, so what you're saying is that this is a conduit or an avenue in which most people don't realize that. Let's say, let's take Pam. Pam, if you don't mind, as the example, if Pam needs a medication that's not covered, right, and she's having to pay, out the wazoo for every month, she can get this paper by the doctor, and then fill out the form itself and send that into AISH, and there is a good chance that she'll get covered.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the other companion form to that one is the doctor's form. Okay. So the government requires this whenever you are asking for a drug or a nutritional product that is not on the covered list. So let's say, we'll use Pam again, for example. Let's say Pam has tried a whole bunch of different medications, and she finally finds one where the interactions are minimal, where the cost to her is minimal in terms of side effects, right? Her doctor, she would fill out what she can on this form, take it to her doctor and say, here, I need you to fill out the rest, because now I need to prove that we've tried XYZ, and this is the drug that we've fallen on. And this one is working. And your doctor would do he would fill out the form, and then he would write a letter as to why that medication is essential for your survival and your health.
And that could be one medication. That could be more than one medication.
Every form covers 2 meds.
Okay.
So if there's more than 2, then they would have to print out multiple copies. But that's why we have it on the site. And everything's a fillable PDF. I made sure that it's a fillable PDF because that's easier for people.
Right.
And I'm a pain in the ass.
Right. So, well, of course you are. And that's why we love you. So Pam says, I need and cups found out today. What does that say? Thank you both. I found out today. Thank you so very much. Yes, Pam. Hey, man, I mean, that's news to you, right? And I take no credit here. It was Chantal that, of course, once again, found all this information and then made a fillable PDF so that you can basically just text in your name and the date and get your doctor to do it. And now you're not going to be out the money you're out per month, Pam. And I won't say how much that is, but it ain't a fucking dollar. I can tell you that. And we're proud to bring that news to everyone, that this actually exists. Once again, bravo, Chantal.
Yep.
Keeping it
So
real.
those forms are available. They are no longer hiding behind management or supervisory positions with the H board.
Right, because you figured it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So where are we at now? Where are we at now in terms of
Segment 2.
Okay, do you want me to take
Or
that?
no. Where is it here? I think it's segment 2. Yes.
Okay, so that don't do anything?
Or no, segment 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll take segment 3.
Okay.
Segment 3, the machine that can't see you. Administrative power made concrete. Monday's layer 3 was abstract. Forms, classifications, the managerial class. Today, we're going to make this concrete with real cases. De-identified, no names, of course, right?
Yeah.
So people whose every doctor has retired or moved, terrified, their history is gone. So what that sentence is saying is that if you don't have your doctor anymore, you're probably freaking out because where's everything you need, right? Where's all the material you need in order to state your case, should you have to, again, to an H panel, or not a panel, but whatever a bureaucrat had for lunch. Thursday, it isn't records persist, and the H file already holds what was submitted at acceptance. So it isn't records persist, and the H.
So terrified their history is gone. Right?
Okay.
It isn't.
Oh, it
so
isn't.
Your history isn't gone.
Okay, sorry, it
It
isn't.
persists.
That's my eyes. My God, I need glasses, for God's sake. It isn't. Records persist, and the H file already holds what was submitted and at acceptance. So they already hold that record that you would have submitted, and it is the same record, isn't it, Chantal? It's the same record.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I have pin.
And it's that record that we can use a second time, right? I'll let her do her thing.
My daughter wants to steal my pin. There you go.
That's
She's
okay.
got my pin.
So the records persist, and they're in the hands of H, and you can use those exact records to reapply. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing new from your doctor.
You can, like a lot of people didn't realize that. Sorry, I'm replacing my pin now with a new one that I just made this morning.
Okay.
So all of our doctors' records are not automatically sent to H, right? So any updated information, whether it's a new doctor, whether you're going to find one, whatever, anything new, like new diagnostic evidence, new diagnoses, everything. You need to get that in writing in your hands before they start doing these reassessments. Because when we ask for appeals, they're only looking at what's already in our files. So if you've had substantial health changes over the years, H doesn't have that information. Right? So they put the responsibility of updating our H files on us, on the people least capable to carry that responsibility.
Right. However, it would, I would think that if they already have the material that put you onto H in the first place, that material would suffice to keep you on H a second time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. But that doesn't mean you can't send anything new. It's just they don't update it. All of that work is on the individual.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So, okay, good. The system makes you prove again what you already proved. That's what we're saying. We're going to have to prove it again, but we already proved it the first time. So whatever they have, that they signed off as an approval should suffice a second time. There's no difference unless you got worse, and then you can fashion them with all those resources, right?
Yeah.
People who were never told they had to apply for the DTC then treated it as if the failure was theirs or yours,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. So basically, they fucked up, and then they told you it's your fault.
See, and when they started putting that DTC information on our pay stubs from AISH, right? Like when it started to appear, I had already applied for mine a long time ago because I found out about that when my kids were all diagnosed with autism and other disabilities, right? So I knew about the DTC, but they started putting that on our forms at the same time that they started cutting back and reassigning our individual caseworkers. So we had nobody to phone for this information. Right. And then shortly after the DTC showed up on our slips, right, the disability tax credit was announced. So people were getting that really mixed up, right? Like, okay, well, they're both credits, right? They're both tax credits. They're both from the federal government. What the hell's going on? Nobody, and I'll say this again, nobody on the AISH call center or in the AISH call center knew at the time that the DTC is what gave you the ability to apply for the Canadian Disability Benefit. Nobody knew that on the ground for the AISH call center. Nobody knew that. I informed them via email. It was sometime either last year or the year before that no, the DTC has to be done before you apply for the Canadian Disability Benefit. And the only reason I found that out was because I phoned the CRA and said, what is this disability tax or what's this Canadian Disability Benefit? Like, is it not the same thing? Because I had no idea. And the lady goes, well, no, we're getting a lot of applications for the disability, what is it called? The Canadian Disability Benefit, right? But a lot of these people don't have the disability tax credit in place. So all of this backlog of applications were being denied because the prerequisite wasn't met. And nobody knew that there was a fucking prerequisite. It's like, how do you guys not know this shit?
Well,
like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, because they're not told and they don't have the information. That in no way takes them off the hook. But once again, the government is moving fast and breaking things, and they don't care that everything is broken as long as the thing is instituted. That's all they care about. And if we go back to other parties, they know that. They know that the only thing the UCP cares about is instituting the program, not how much it breaks the system, not how much it breaks you, not how much it breaks the professional managerial class, your average PMC. They don't care. All they know is to do it, right? And you can take a page out of America's book right now if you need an example, okay? Move fast, break things, and that's something Elon Musk said himself, right? This is the general ethos of both government and technocracy. Move fast, break things. Doesn't matter who gets in your way, doesn't matter who gets hurt or who dies.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I'll go on, finish this up.
No worries. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just
No, not at all. You cut me off anytime. Okay, the barrier is the system's design. Exactly. So once again, you can get angry at people all you want. And it is people that propagate the system. The system can't act. The system only sets the playing field, right? You need the athletes on the field to play the game. And this is what you have in government. Okay? So the barrier is the system's design. It's all about how a system is designed or isn't designed. And if you don't think they know how it isn't designed, I would think again. They do know what's not designed as much as they know what is. Okay? They know the failure point and they don't care. The system design, then the penalty lands on the person. So I think we've explained that. That's why
Mhm.
that's why we have the podcast. That's why you're watching it. That's why a hell of a lot more people should be watching this. People getting benefit drop letters with no calculation attached, asked twice in writing for the math and refused. A decision you're not allowed to see the basis for. So once again, we want to know in what metric, in what medical, under what medical purview, under what psychological rationale have you instituted this program? And there is no answer for that because they didn't consult anybody except themselves, right? And that's why there is no answer for this. There's no concrete methodology here. And yet on the other side of things, us as 80,000 people and the plethora of doctors and psychiatrists already know that this is probably the most destructive austerity measure in Alberta's history and exactly what it's going to do to most people on AISH. We already know it. So,
Yeah, we're already seeing it.
and we're seeing it. Let me go back. Let me go back. God love you both. God love you, Pam. And that's why we're doing the podcast, so people get really invaluable information. I had to use that form for my son's medication when he was little, Nicole says. I tried to use it for a nutrition supplement, and they denied it. I have had other meds covered, though. Okay, so it's hit and miss. Like anything in government, I think a lot of it, once again, has to do with what somebody had for lunch, right? Not what's written into the books.
They're really picky about how things are worded. Like really picky about how things are worded.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like getting an artistic government grant. If you forget to put "the" in there, you denied. Yeah. Kate, how the hell are you? Good to see you. I heard Canada ranks 16th out of 182 countries on Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index. The old TICPI. That old chestnut. Well, if you heard that, Kate, can you substantiate that? Because we would love to know that as a fact, and not merely something you heard, but if we can verify that.
Well, I'm making notes. I'll verify it.
Okay, good. Of course you will. I get exhausted just talking to you. Come on. You're always doing something. So there that is.
Yeah, making roses at the moment.
What's that?
I said making rose pins at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know somebody that can multitask, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at it right there. I mean, head down, literally making little roses that basically are so tiny that you almost
We
need one
ran
of them.
out. We ran out. We needed more.
I know.
I've
You got rid of 100 of them, and then she can answer questions and spin plates and stand on her head. Quite remarkable, I will admit. So
It's the ADHD.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, Kate, let us know. That is awesome, but let us know what you heard and the validity of the hearing of a thing. We would love to know the fact of the case. I think what I want to do is just cleanse the palate a little bit. What do you think, Chantal?
You're going to play my music video, aren't you?
It's between that and yeah, I think I will. I think I will. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it before. A #1 hit in Guam, rising on the charts in Uzbekistan as we speak. Chantal's song about this transition and what it means to everybody. So let's take a moment just to enjoy something. All right.
Are you coming to the steps where the quiet voices rise, where the parents bring the paperwork and the hungry children cry? Are you coming to the steps where the sick are told to wait, where they cut the hands that held us up, then call the damage fate. We are still here. We are still here. Our backs against the wall without fear. We are still here. We stand as one. We fight their lies until our work is done. Are you coming for the children who were promised care and time, where the forms replace the helping hands and support becomes a line? Are you coming for the families who have begged and called and tried, while the doors keep closing quietly and the need stays locked inside? We are still here. We are so quiet. Don't go alone. Let them reap what they have sown. They could never hide their shame. It is they who bear the blame. Are you coming for the sick ones who can't lose another thread, where the medicine, the rights, the care stand between the living and the dead? Are you coming for the renters with the notice on the door, where the check was never enough to live and now they're taking more? We are still here. We are still here. Our backs against the wall without fear. We are still here. We stand as one. We'll fight their lies until our work is
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing and listening pleasure. It is what a tune, what a song, what a reality.
My daughter's upstairs singing along.
Oh, cool. She likes it, huh?
Oh, yeah. She
Oh.
likes all Mummy's music, she says.
Oh, that's so cute and so true and so great. I'm just going to clean up the chat and we'll move on.
Okay.
Pam says, I felt so hopeless today at the office, but I heard something telling me it's not for me, it's for everyone, for my street family who passed because of this. I bet the government has no heart, has no remorse, no hope, no nothing. The government is an empty shell. Yes, they are. They are a whitewashed tomb, if you will, Pam, and I know you know what that means. They are a whitewashed tomb. They look good on the outside, and not even sometimes not even that, but they're completely corruptible, and what on the inside, that's what they are. And so I'm, I understand, the hopelessness. I mean, some of us are feeling that. Well, we're all feeling that. Let's be honest. But you know what? I mean, I didn't start this for no reason, Pam. This podcast, and I didn't bring on somebody as amazing and wonderful as Chantal for nothing. I did this because I wanted to provide hope to somebody, least of all me. And I knew that if I did this, I was going to get more information and gain more knowledge, know how to fight and where to do it. And then lo and behold, Chantal comes on with all the information, all the knowledge, a beautiful spirit, and a work ethic that is, beyond measure. And so, today, when we were able to at least give you an idea of what you could do, so you're not, you know what I mean? So you can buy those fucking 12 eggs and not have to worry about, the fact that you've just thrown good money out the door for no reason, because your government won't supply you with the things you need in order to sustain yourself. That's what this is about. That's all this is about. God strike us dead if we ever ask for a dime off this channel. We never will. We want this for you. Yeah, careful. We want this for you because we love you and we love everybody here. And I hope everybody knows that. It's really important to us, and that's what matters. So Chantal, if you want to go back to 3 or 4.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go for it.
Reglue that one. All right. So 4 is the July teach-in. I don't think we finished going over the machine though. So where is it here? So we covered the barrier is the system's design. Then the penalty lands on the person, right? And then people getting benefit drop letters with no calculation attached. Okay, we did that. My brain is scattered apparently.
Well, no, I see it now. Do you want me to just go back and just kind of finish it off?
Sure.
Okay, so people getting benefit drop letters, no calculation attached. We did that. The through line, Monday's words, a worker can be declared capable of employment by, by someone who has never met them. A worker can be declared capable of employment by someone who has never met them.
Meaning us.
Right. And a worker,
we're going to be the worker, right?
And a worker meaning an AISH recipient.
Yeah.
So an AISH recipient can be declared capable of employment by someone who has never met them. They don't know you. They've never seen you. They have quickly looked over some chart that they could barely give a shit because lunch is at 12 o'clock. And they give you, sorry, you're done. That's not a slogan. It's happening in the inbox every day. The harm is delivered through procedure, right? Not through the mace anymore, not through the sword. The harm is delivered through procedure by people insulated from the consequence altogether until they suffer the consequence. I saw a really good short on Facebook. I don't know who the guy is, but he basically ran down all the smartasses that think that this is a good idea, and the fact that everyone or most of the middle class is one $500 emergency away from needing this exactly. Right? One thing that is out of your control. A piece of wood flies up from a saw and puts your eye out, and all of a sudden you're not so fucking smart anymore. You see? And would it happen to you? It doesn't fucking matter. It could happen to anyone at any moment. That's why these things are in place. As much as they are for us, they're in place for the people that don't need them. That may very well fall prey to them at some point. And the first thing you will lose there, Mr. Smarty Pants, the first thing you'll lose is not your eyesight, it's your dignity. So understand that. All right? That's what empathy is. That's the ability to not become a narcissist, is empathy. So feel into that for a minute. Not your own sense of entitlement. Got it? Good. Tieback. This is why the $100 automatic enrollment matters as proof. The machine is fully capable of seeing you, finding you, paying you when it wants to. The we can't individually assess everyone excuse for ADAP is a choice, not a limit. right? And once again, this is where the the shit-eating professional managerial class on the other end of the line that you get when you call AISH um, doesn't realize where they're complicit. Can they solve the problem? No. But should they perpetuate it? Absolutely not. So that takes care of number 3. And I hope you all got something out of that.
So with the July 1st teach-in that we're going to be doing at the legislature, July 1st, starting at 10 a.m. So we're going to be doing the podcast live from the grounds, cards in hand all day, and I'm working on the rose pins right now. So if you don't have one yet, you can grab one from us then, or PM me, DM me, whatever the acronym is this week on Facebook, and I'll send one out to you. And then we always get this Why Canada Day. Okay. So it's not a rejection of the day. Okay. It will stand to demand the Canada we want. Right. So that's why we're doing it on Canada Day. And our reach will be a little bit more because we'll be able to reach the working class and the families who will be downtown at that point, informing them that they're affected and they just don't know it yet. So participation is at any level. So show up if you can, email, post if you can't, watch and share if that's what's possible. No one is petitioning someone who can't get downtown. You do what you can do. So yeah.
Yeah, let me go back to that. I just want to see. Legislature, July 1st, 10 a.m. We're going to be doing the podcast live. Okay. And I just figured it out. It took me till 2 a.m. to figure out how to actually work that so that we can go live. We can have audio live and we can have audio through the speaker system in which we are going to employ on that day. So that took a while to figure out. Yeah, the flag, June 19th, 11 a.m., legislature action. And yeah, the Why Canada Day thing kind of bugs me. Like, to me, that kind of seems intuitive, but maybe not. Maybe to some people it isn't. It's Canada Day because it's not Canada for us. How is it Canada for us? Right? We can be thankful of what Canada was for us, but it doesn't represent anything good for us on that day. Now, maybe you say, well, that's just Alberta, Gavin, the whole of Canada. I'm sorry, but for me, the government is an apparatus. And if it wanted to stop this, it could. If it really gave a shit, it could. So we're putting out to Canada that there is nothing grand to celebrate. And nobody's going to tell me how to act on any day. I'm going to act in accordance with how I feel and what I know. And nobody's going to tell me how to act. So that's why we're doing this, because we want to bring information out. There might be a protest that breaks out, kind of like a hockey game at a boxing match. Who knows? But, we'll open space for that, absolutely. But primarily, this is a moment to teach and a moment for people to come down, like yourselves. If you're in Edmonton or you're from Calgary and choose to go up, to have you on as well, to have you on the podcast. I'll share my mic with anybody. And you can sit down and you can tell us what's bothering you. You can gain information. You can walk the protest if you want, like we did. And maybe I'll show that. What the hell? We got a minute.
The province-wide protest?
Yeah. Now, where is that? Yeah, right here. Check this out. And this will give you a good idea, number one, of how much Edmonton cares, because they really do. The people of Edmonton are amazing. And we had guys like Can Man Dan out there. We even had one of the, a union out there. And then we had the most beautiful people that Alberta knows, that Alberta houses within its borders. Beautiful, beautiful people. So, yeah, check this out for a minute.
We're going to raise our voices as loud as we can. We're going to get creative with the shit that comes out of our mouth, because it's all true, it's all real, it's all in real time, and it's all directed at asshole in there. Yes. So I welcome you. Hey, look at how many people are here. I don't know if these people, bam, they're bam. Okay, maybe not. They're entertained. Good for them. Because this is going to be entertaining and it's going to be big.
I've been on AISH for 18 years. I'm severe. I have multiple comorbidities, bad heart, bad lungs, everything. They took $220 off me for housing, and then they took off another 110. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I do not want to be homeless. I was homeless 5 times. I had a really bad drug and alcohol problem.
I spent the last few days editing what I believe could be an anthem for all of us standing here today, and for 80,000 people that aren't, that we hold in our hearts.
We are still here. We stand as one. We'll fight their lies until our work is done. Don't go quiet. Don't go alone. Let them live what they have sown. They could never hide their shame. It is they who bear the blame.
They profit off of it.
I have another song that I ended up doing
Oh, what was that?
for UCP.
Hmm.
We're still here in Canada. Can you hear us screaming?
Oh, wow.
I think we're going to play that on the first.
I think we should play that on the first. I would love to hear it first. Do I have it?
I think I sent it to you.
Okay, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back and we're live. I'll just check the chat here. I hope you all kind of got a taste of what that is and what that looks like. Some really amazing people that day. And we went right down to the steps of the legislature. Even the cops came down. Of course, they didn't participate, but they sure as hell didn't get in the way. They were cool. I went over to them and I just said, look, we're just here, doing the people's business at the house of the people. No problem, right? And they said, no, man, you go, do your thing. And so they were cool. They were very cool. And as long as, you don't, do anything not cool, then you're good. And there was a lot of cool that day. And that's what we're doing Canada Day. No different than that. We're going to make our voices heard. Our voices, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, are the most important voices in Canada right now. So why aren't we heard? Why are we not on some Canada Day celebration stage? Why are we not there? We're hella important, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
We're very important. Well, we're not as important as anybody else in Canada? Come on. Come on. Hey, Ivy's here, or she was, or she still is. Damn, never got a notification. You can thank yours truly for that. But it is out there now. You two were live. I'll have to rewatch. Yeah, some good stuff, great information, Ivy, if you need to. Goosebumps every time, says Sam. Yeah. And I will be heading there for July 1st. And if anybody wants to come up, right now I'm entertaining our illustrious bus service from Calgary to Edmonton. But if there is somebody planning on coming up from Calgary to Edmonton and, maybe I'll catch a ride, maybe I'll catch a lift, right? We can listen to some heavy tunes, crank the tunes and just fucking make our way to Edmonton. So let me know about that in particular. Chantal, that seems like...
I did do a little, I added a segment after the fact, just because of some questions that I've been getting a lot on the page, because of course we're getting closer and closer to June 30th, right? And it feels like it's do or die time at this point. Just regarding the appeal forms, okay? Now, I know that if you phone AISH, they tell you don't appeal. I don't know if there's a gag order in place where they're not supposed to, share actual information with you, saying that we still have rights under AISH legislation and the law that says that we can say no to this transition, that we can appeal under the AISH rules as they exist today before everything changes July 2nd under the new rules and the new ministerial orders. So there are 3 forms that are available right now on the app and on the website, on the Facebook group. It's all live. You can PM me, DM me, email the campaign if you need to. So the 3 appeal forms and who needs which. So there is a general AISH appeal letter, the one most people will need. Use it if you got moved to ADAP and want to appeal to stay on AISH. The argument is pre-written. You just add your details and your own story if you want to. That is totally optional. There is a CPPD grounds appeal form. So only if CPP disability is part of your situation, because of course I had to branch out a bit and make that accessible for the people that are specifically on CPPD. And then the third one is the exemption category correction. So it's not necessarily an appeal, it is a correction, and use it only if you clearly fit one of the 4 auto stay categories. So severe and profound developmental disabilities or PDD eligible or receiving, right? And then palliative is in your situation, and the exemption only if you clearly fit one of those 4 categories that I just listed. When in doubt, take the general appeal and ask me, right? So those are the 3 forms, because I get people messaging in constantly. I need the appeal form. I need the appeal form. It's fine to do that. I don't mind asking the question of what it is that you need, just so that I can refine it and make sure that you have the right form. So where is it here? So you want to file the appeal before June 30th, because up until that date, that's it. The old appeal process closes after July 2nd, because the 1st is a holiday. So filing now is about your AISH eligibility and the fact that no one individually reviewed your file. It preserves your right in the closing window. So keep a right and make them prove they took it. So, and then the pursue reassessment to stay on AISH, that is a separate path, not an appeal. So you can ask to be reassessed to remain on AISH because your disability permanently prevents you from working. There's no deadline for that, and the government covers 1 medical assessment. Now, we don't know if they're going to send us to our own doctor. We don't know if they're going to send us to a third-party contracted doctor or specialist. We don't know that yet. It's not in the fine print. So right now we've kind of got our asses in the air. We don't know, but you can do both. Right, so the AISH appeal right now, while the window is open, great, get her done. It just, solidifies the fact that we have rights and we're using them to exercise that. And then when the ADAP program goes live, we'll have the option for reassessment. Now, I don't know how that's going to work, if it's going to be kind of a lottery system, if they're going, from the bottom of the alphabet to the front. I don't know. I guess we'll see with the rollout. I'm very excited about this ADAP transition, because I'm going to be an even bigger hemorrhoid than I am now. So appealing is not pointless. Alberta's own data shows appeal panels overturn decisions about 1 in 3, so 34.7%. That is a real chance, and it is your right while the window is open. So I filed mine. I helped Gavin file his last night. I've been helping people across the page for weeks now file their own. Do it. It doesn't cost you anything. My help is free, and it does not go to the AISH offices. I'm going to say this one more time. The appeal does not go to the AISH offices. It goes to the appeals secretariat. It is a completely different office. So if you send it to AISH, they're going to throw it out. So make sure that you're sending it to the right place. And I think that's it.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. And I mean, those are really good things. Chantal did help me last night. on 3 different things. And I couldn't have been more thankful because, you know, a lot of this, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, we don't know where to start. And I didn't know where to start. I had no clue. I mean, I guess I could have got it done in 3 days, you know, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But Chantal, we got it done in an hour and 15, right? And so, you know, if you don't know what to do, reach out, ask Chantal. You know, in some probably, you know, way, she'll be able to help you with that. Some kind of electronic device.
Oh, well, people phone me on Facebook and then I just walk them through the forms. And if you can't fill it out, we can talk on through Facebook. And I can fill it out, email it to you. You figure out how to sign it, whether it's going to the library, printing it out, signing it, and then you can mail it in. You can do whatever you need to. So there's more than one way to skin a cat, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. And we're skinning them every way we can. Skinning cats and plucking chickens.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right? If that ain't Alberta, tell me what is. Huh? Come on. So yeah, I want to run down this little fact sheet as well. Let me pull that up. So, you know, just so you guys kind of know what we talked about today. You know, this is just a rundown of the greatest hits. Okay. So rebate plus AISH, auto enrolled, no application, confirmed. Okay. It was announced June 17th. Now, what isn't confirmed is if they're going to rip it off. All right. If they're going to rip you off. We don't know. And that's all they're doing is ripping you off. The rebate clawback, we're confirming, don't count on keeping it yet. Not confirmed, do not promise. So we can't promise you that that you're gonna.
They're not going to come back in a week and a half and say, "Oh, by the way, we're going to claw that back."
Yeah, you owe us $100. Like, you know, who wouldn't you slap upside the head if they ever did that to you? Except nobody, right? CDB clawback, $200 a month, dollar for dollar, only province. Good to know, right? We're the only one. I think, you know, other provinces are probably salivating at what we're doing right now, but they don't have the balls yet to pull the trigger like this ignorant province does. And that's active right now. ADAP base 1740 versus AISH, which was 1940. Okay, the operative number here is 1740. We can all forget about 1940 now until we get it back. But for now, we're at 1740. Confirmed. Base cut timing, top up to end of 2027, which is not a top up. Cut lands.
No, it's an income freeze.
Yeah, it's an income freeze, essentially.
I don't know why they call it a top up. It's misleading. Oh, well, wait, but it's the government.
Yeah, well, of course. And yeah, we covered that. You know, they're pissing on you and telling you it's raining. That's and they're doing that to their entire base, and their entire base couldn't give a shit. Appeal deadline June 30th, last working day. So if you want to appeal, like Chantal was just talking about, you have until July or June 30th. Anything over that, you can't appeal. So get that appeal done. It may go nowhere, but it's a record that the government has that could potentially be fought in a court of law. Okay? And you want to be part of that, what would you call it? That motion.
That group? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You want to be part of that because, you know, if anything were to come of it, you don't know the good that could come of it. Right? So cover your ass. Cover your ass. Do that. Appeal deadline, June 30th. Transition legal date, July 2nd. Program says July 1st. That's confirmed. Transition appealable, no. 12-point bar takes effect. 12.8 bar takes effect July. What's 12.8?
That's the legislation for Bill 12.
Okay.
So no appeals under Bill 12.
Right. So you can't appeal until July 2nd, correct?
Yep.
Right.
Well,
confirm.
no, after July 2nd, we lose all right to appeal. We won't be able to appeal
Oh,
anything.
I see what you're saying.
So,
Okay.
so even if they kick us off of ADAP for, non-compliance because we don't want to participate in their shit show,
Yeah.
they can cancel our benefits, kick us off of ADAP, and there's fuck all we can do about it.
Right. Gotcha. Reassessment to stay on AISH. No deadline, permanent inability to work confirmed. Right. So that's kind of what reassessment versus appeal. And they're two totally different and distinct things, right? You will be probably forced to be reassessed, or and then you will also have to take part in the fucking circus that they have coming for you, of which in the not too distant future, Chantal and I will be. I think we're going to discuss about how to handle that. If you have to walk into a room, where they're going to teach you how to write a resume, we're going to get there first and tell you how you can react to such a thing. All right. So that's about it. Let me go back to the. Let me go back. Thank you so much. I felt hopeless. Yep. Of course, Pam. Ivy. Oh no, done. Goosebumps every time you hear the song. I believe you mean, Sam. And Sam is saying, yes, I want to ride too. Or bus. Yeah, I'm looking at the bus. However, my consideration, unless I can get up there early enough, and I looked at the bus schedules and they don't really have anything that way, I need to be up there. So I'm looking at, something maybe a little different. But if somebody's driving up that day, let us know. Let Sam and I know, and we'll crank Van Halen all the way up there. And Pam says, thank you both again. And Pam, thank you. Thank you for being the greatest, beautiful sweetheart of an individual that this province has ever known. We love you. And we love everybody here. And we don't want to, count anybody out. You're all amazing, beautiful, wonderful, shiny, happy people. And that is the reason that we do this. For you, for the love of doing something good for people. And that's pretty cool. You don't get that everywhere, every day. And you certainly don't get it from your government. And Chantal and I'll be speaking more on, what we're thinking in the not too distant future. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to have an interesting convo. I think I already have it kind of lined up on, and we might talk about this perhaps, but I'm thinking of doing something on human flourishing, what that looks like, the kind of government it takes to provide it, or system, really. You don't even need to call it government. You can call it the will of the people to materialize human flourishing. And although that sounds fanciful and perhaps a little romantic, it really isn't. It's happened before and it can happen again. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything, for being with us. We love you. Be safe, be well, and most importantly, courage!